What is going on, you guys? We have the Rebel Commandos preview for Star Wars Legion, which is pretty cool. Also kind of leads me to believe that these might be for early sale at Gen Con. They haven't said that yet, but considering that they've been on the boat for a little while, it stands to reason if they're going to have anything early for sale for Legion, this and Han Solo might be the things. It is Gen Con week, so Gen Con is coming up in a few days, and you will find me there demoing Legion at the FFG booth, hopefully. So come on by, and we'll see you there. So let's go ahead and talk about these Rebel Commandos, which we're getting another look at in this preview article. This is nice because this is a pack where you're actually going to get two variations of a unit. So you're kind of getting two units in one. So you can actually buy one single expansion field, two Special Forces unit. It's going to be very, very nice to finally have Special Forces available. I think this is going to significantly influence the type of lists that we see, because right now it's really all core spam, and with the introduction of Special Forces, it's going to flush out the game. Although, honestly, the fact that we're just getting Special Forces for Rebels and then we're going to have to wait like another month or two for the Empire's version is kind of a bummer. I really wish they could get the distribution and manufacturing schedule kind of situated such that we're getting stuff for, I don't need Han Solo and Rebel Commandos at the same time. I would rather have Han Solo and Boba Fett, and then Imperial Scouts, and then Rebel Commandos at the same time. This way we're getting symmetric releases, but it can't always be that way, apparently. So let's look at our Rebel Commandos card. So Rebel Commandos card is a pretty good unit. You're getting 4 minis in the unit. Now, you're looking at 60 points. So this is going to be a little more expensive than your typical Rebel Troopers. 20 points more expensive, to be exact. So a lot more expensive. You are getting the black die up to range 3. You also have a black die for unarmed. You do have surge to hit and for defense, though. So you've got the you've got those surges, which is better than your regular Rebel Trooper. Now, you still have the white defense die. You have a higher courage value, though. So your courage value is 2, so you're less likely to panic, which is helpful, especially if you want these guys off by themselves away from your commander. That seems to be one of the roles that they're very useful in, is either staying back really far or pushing forward very far. So these are very likely to be out of range of your commander, so that higher courage value is very helpful here. For their keywords, they do have low profile, so while defending, if you have light cover, improve your cover by 1, which means that if they take a suppression, if they get shot a single time, with 1 suppression, now all of a sudden they're going to have heavy cover everywhere. This is useful, especially if you're trying to march them forward and put them behind enemy lines, or march them towards an objective through open terrain. They're going to be able to have heavy cover standing out in the open, as long as they have that 1 suppression. Or if they're in the trees, they're still going to treat that as heavy cover, which will help them potentially stay alive. And you do want them to stay alive, because when you're spending 60 points minimum for 4 troopers, you don't want to lose one, because losing one is a little bit more important at that point. They do have Scout 2. So after you deploy, you may perform a Speed 2 move. So Scout is a new keyword, and we first saw it, we've seen this with being introduced here in Wave 2. This was actually first hit the game with the Battlefield Supplies pack. There was that deployment that gives everybody Scout 1, which is kind of cool. But Scout 2, it's important to note that when you're using this Scout keyword, this is as soon as you deploy. So it's not like everybody deploys everything and then Scout triggers. No, it's like as soon as you drop them, then you move them right away. If you don't move them right away, then you've forfeited your Scout, because it says you may. So it's not something that you have to do. So that's something you'll have to remember. As soon as you put them down, go ahead and do that Scout 2 move right then and there. And that happens before your opponent deploys their next unit. So if everybody running all kinds of commandos with Scout, it's going to be deploy move, and you go deploy move, then I go deploy move. And then they have Sharpshooter 1. While performing a ranged attack, reduce the defender's cover by 1. This is actually a really nice keyword. We've seen this on other commanders, and Sharpshooter, like Leia, for example, and it's great because especially when you're shooting into somebody that's already been shot. This makes them pretty good for a 1-2 punch. If you have like your Rebel Troopers shoot first, all right, you didn't kill everybody, but now they have light cover because you already shot them and they have suppression. Well, now you have your Commandos shoot next. they don't get that automatic light cover due to the suppression. Although if somebody has heavy cover, they'll reduce it a little bit, but still, they're excellent at shooting into cover because of sharpshooter. All right. But not bad. They have speed of 2. They've got the heavy trooper. Now, they don't have the regular personnel upgrade, so you're not just going to be able to add a normal 5th commando to this unit. You do have your new upgrade, your training, I believe, your comm, equipment, and grenades. So let's look at the 2 heavy weapons, which really kind of give the flavor. Because basically on their own, they're okay. But I'm not sure I'd want to pay, 50% increase just for gaining an offensive surge. I mean, and those keywords are nice, but I don't know if they're okay by themselves. I don't know if they're good enough to say, I want these. I don't know. I just don't know. We'll see. But I think the real flavor comes in the heavy weapons options. You have 2 different options. So first, we're going to look at the DH-447 Sniper. Rebel Commandos only, and this adds the Sniper Mini. Now, is it just me? Or does this look like Episode 8 Luke Skywalker with a sniper rifle? Is that what he was doing? Was Luke Skywalker taking out porgs on that island before Rey got there?
No.
My wife goes, no. So, no, but it does look a little bit like Luke with the grungy beard and everything. All right, so you add this guy. He's 28, so he's a little expensive, and he has high velocity. While attacking, if each weapon in your attack pool has high velocity, the defender cannot spend dodge tokens. So you can't dodge this guy's attack. Now, what does that mean if each weapon has high velocity? Basically, at face value right now, if you're at close range and you're attacking everybody and you're just one giant attack, they're all attacking, well then they can spend dodge tokens. But if this is the only weapon, basically if you're doing his snipe attack, they can't dodge. Or if you're splitting fire and then all your regular commandos are shooting one way and the sniper's shooting somewhere else, then they can't spend dodge tokens. So if he's by himself, if he's shooting his weapon by himself, they can't spend dodge tokens. If somehow you added another miniature that also had high velocity or something like that, and you combined them, like basically 2 snipers firing together, it would also work that way. But I guess that's good future proofing. So maybe we'll see a team of snipers at some point. Notice though that this is different than the other long range stormtroopers that we've seen before. So interesting with the high velocity. We'll shut down some dodge ability, although this would probably be more useful for mirror matches because, from my experience, the Empire doesn't dodge a whole lot. The Rebels are far more likely to dodge than Empire is, but, you never know. And then Pierce 1. Pierce 1 is certainly nice. The big thing about this is the range. It's from 1 to infinite. So you can roll a black die and a white die with infinite range. Not bad, considering that the unit has offensive surge. You do have your white dice does have actually a 3 out of 8 chance of getting a hit. So that white die is possible. Not going to be super good against armor, but that's pretty nice. It's a good way to get some early hits on units. Start putting suppression on people right away. Running 3 of these because again, special forces are capped at 3. A lot of possibilities here, and you're getting 2 dice for 1 mini, infinite range. Really, really nice. Proton Charge Saboteur. So the Proton Charge Saboteur gives you the Proton Charge Saboteur Mini. 26 points, a little cheaper. And he has the action that you can arm 1 Proton Charge. Place 1 Proton Charge token within range 1. Within, not at, but within range 1. So it has to be close enough to you. And in line of sight of your unit leader. And he also has Detonate 1, Proton Charge, Blast 1, Impact 1. So Detonate 1 means that when another unit, when a unit finishes performing an action, you can detonate 1 Proton Charge. So if you had Detonate 2, you could detonate 2 charges whenever a unit finishes performing an action. Cool thing about this is that it doesn't have to be your activation. Obviously, no other unit is performing an activation, but yeah. And there's a lot of things you can do with this, but I'm going to finish talking. We're going to talk about detonate in a little bit, but basically it's going to and I like how all the keywords for this charge are on his card. So it's got surge to crit, which means that this is actually going to be really good against vehicles. It's got impact 1, and it has blast, which is also really nice. Ignoring cover. So that much is cool, although with the surge to crit means that these white dice are actually going to have a 3 out of 8 chance of doing damage, a 2 out of 8 chance of getting through armor. The same thing with the red is going to have a 2 out of 8 chance of getting through armor, but now you have a 7 out of 8 chance of doing at least 1 damage, which means also suppression, because it's an attack, right? It's not a melee attack. It's still I'm pretty sure it's still considered a ranged attack, so I think you're still getting just a range 1 attack. And the yellow circle there means it's attacking every available unit, even your own units. So like they give you this graphic here of the unit in the bottom right, and they were placing that charge token in the center of the screen to try to play area zone control against the stormtroopers. And if these stormtroopers wanted to come in, they're going to have to move, and it's when they finish performing an action. Now, one thing that gets around the whole detonate keyword is compulsive. Compulsive moves, because those compulsive moves, while they are considered a move, they're not considered an action. So if you had a snow speeder, that snow speeder would be so fast it's going to go through, and after it finishes that compulsory move, it's not going to trigger or not going to give you the opportunity to trigger detonate. Now, here's the thing: if the stormtroopers do their move where it goes through that, but they end outside of range 1. Then they're not, it's where you finish the move, not if you're passing through, but it's where you finish. So, that's going to really play zone control there. So that much is interesting. And the other thing that's interesting is that, you have to place it within range 1 of your unit leader. So, in this particular example, if that circle is actually range 1, then that would be an illegal placement. So what would have had to happen here is he actually has to place it. It looks like what happens here is he placed it at range 1 and then backed out of the range. So that's kind of, but the thing is, placing it is an action. So if you're going to place a charge, you're going to then have to back out. Now, technically, there's no limit to how many charges you can place, but really the limit is 6 because it takes an action. You can't do the same action twice. So 6 per. In reality, you're probably not placing one every single turn, but I think in reality you'll probably end up placing like at least 2 or 3. But that also means you're probably not shooting. And these guys have a pretty good attack. And since that Saboteur is adding another mini to your unit, he's still a black dice with surge to hit. So you're rolling like 5 dice now here at least. 5 black dice with surge to hit and sharpshooter and so it's good stuff. Let's see, what else do we got? But yes, we also have we got some upgrade cards. The upgrade cards are nice. We've got HQ uplink. During the issue order step of the command phase, you can issue an order to yourself. This one you have to exhaust it. Again, really good for like maybe that sniper or that saboteur who's going too far ahead, or the sniper who's staying really far behind and gets out of range. You can just issue that order to yourself. This would be really nice if maybe you only had 1 special forces and you wanted to just rely on the pull from the pile strategy. You will, first off, you don't have to wait until you're going to pull the special forces, and it just gives you a lot more strategic control. But again, you can only do this once, and you're going to have to exhaust it, so then you might want to recover. For a sniper, maybe you can afford to do that. Duck and cover, your training upgrade here. While defending against a ranged attack, during the apply, dodge, and cover step, you may gain a suppression token. Well, why is this important? Well, because if we go back to low profile, increasing your cover by 1, if you have duck and cover, even if you don't have light cover, you can just gain that suppression during the apply, dodge, and cover step to start canceling dice. So you can cancel 2 dice even if you don't have a suppression, or 2 hits, I should say. By just gaining a suppression. Now, granted, there's consequences to that because you're also getting shot, so you're still going to gain another suppression at the end of that attack, which means you'll end up with 2. So you run the risk of panicking. But if it's going to save your life, I'd rather run the risk of panicking than just outright die. So, still a cool card to have. And especially if you are still in range of your commander, then you definitely don't run the risk of panicking. Emergency Stims. This one is pretty interesting. It's like, especially for something like for the last turn of the game. It's an exhaustible. During an attack, when you would suffer wounds, prevent up to 2 wounds, and place an equal number of wound tokens on this card instead. If you do, at the end of your next activation, discard each token on this card and suffer wounds equal to the number of tokens discarded. So basically, this just allows you to stay alive for 1 extra turn. Excellent for the last turn of the game, because now there's no consequences to it. Or maybe even the second to last turn for, like, all right, the strike team. We didn't, yeah, we also have the strike team card. So the Commando strike team is only 16 points. So this is kind of a big deal, because this is a whole different way for you to run these. Now it's only 1 mini, but it's got the heavy weapon team keyword, which means you must equip a heavy weapons upgrade card, and the mini added by that is the unit leader. So this is going to be a 2 health unit. So you're going to have 2 minis. You're going to have your regular guy, and then you're adding the heavy weapon upgrade, and that's going to be the leader. So they'll die last. So if you do a Saboteur or a sniper, like this way you can run 3 snipers really on the cheap, which is nice. I mean, granted, you still have to pay for the heavy weapon upgrades. So you're not running 3 snipers at 16 points each. You're running them closer to 40-something points each because the upgrade. But they still have the same keywords. All the stats are the same except for the number of minis and the cost, and then the fact that you have to have the heavy weapons team. So here is a perfect example of a unit that's, maybe you run proton charge saboteurs. You're only going to have 2 minis in the unit. So emergency stims is a great opportunity. If you take 2 damage, we're like, you know what? No problem. I'm going to stay alive. Especially when you have the detonate keyword. You just need, let's go back to here. Detonate keyword, you just have to be alive to use detonate keyword. So if you want to make sure you stay alive long enough to detonate those charges, there you go. Hit those stims, stay alive all around, activate maybe the end of the next following turn. You've gotten a whole extra turn out of that card. Pretty cool stuff. Glad to see it. I'm very excited for this. I won't be as excited until the Imperials get their version, though, because I don't think it's going to be fun to play Rebels versus Imperials when Imperials are at a distinct disadvantage. But that's kind of what happens. When this comes out, you're going to see a lot of Rebel versus Rebel mirror matches. Rebels will dominate casual games and tournament games for a month or so until the Empire catches up. And then things will balance out. And then everybody will play Empire because they've been playing Rebels for a whole month. That's kind of the way it goes. I really hope they do more factions for Legion. Maybe we'll see that at Gen Con. Let me know what you guys think. There is a giveaway going on right now. You can win a solo Blu-ray in the form of an Amazon gift card. So if you would like to enter to win that, you just have to become a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that, guys. So that winner won't be announced until after Gen Con. So sign up for that and make sure you click that bell for alerts as well, because this way you'll get a little notification when I publish a new video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Don't forget to check out Crabbok.com. Check me out on Discord. And a big thanks to my Patreons. There is a new giveaway going on. So if you're a patron, don't forget to check out Patreon, because we're giving away some Armada promos right now. Hopefully I can get some extra promos at Gen Con, and then those can end up on the giveaway table as well. But those promos are only going to be given away on Patreon as my way to thank you guys for all of your support. But again, that's an addition. That's not taking away from all of my YouTube subscribers. I'm still doing the giveaways like I have always done and will always continue to do. So I want to thank you guys so much, and I want to just say have a great day.